All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the Big Outdoor Dining Table. We're getting into some fun stuff now. We did a lot of sanding on both sides of it, getting to a good point on that, but now we're going to start getting into cutting this side, cutting that side, let you know what we're going to do, filling in the bark inclusion there. So I think it should be a fun one, and we're going to see kind of the table take shape, which is going to be the fun part. The sanding, kind of the boring part, it reveals what we got there. But now we're going to get to shape, see what we're actually going to do with it, and go from there. I picked up some legs that I think I'm going to use for it. I'll show you those later on. But for right now, basically, because I don't have any straight edges on it, it's live edge on both sides. To get this mark here, basically my thought is I have, obviously this I need to get rid of, and old chainsaw cut I need to get rid of. But I want to save as much as I can. So I'm going to basically line the big square up on there so I can save as much as I can. Nothing too fancy or crazy about this. I basically just lining it up where it looks good to me, where, you know, obviously if it's like that, not so good. Looks like that, you know, it looks fairly square, and it's going to be able to accommodate a decent amount, probably 2 people on the end, with how wide it is. It's over 4 feet wide, so if you're going to have people sitting around it, should be able to get 2 people sitting there nice and easily. So anyways, let's get to marking it out and cutting it. So because I just have a normal circular saw, I don't have the upgraded larger ones, I can't cut through this thing the whole way. As you can see here, got down decent amount, but not quite. So I'm going to just basically you can do a couple different things, jigsaw, sawzall, chainsaw, whatever. We're going to be sanding it up anyways. I'm just going to do a jigsaw. I got a really long blade on it. So I've used that in the past, so I'm going to give that a shot. Hopefully that goes through. If not, I'll change out to the sawzall with a bit more power and go from there. But just wanted to let you know why it didn't fall off after I cut. So it's a nice big, thick chunk of wood here, and that'll be fun to go. So anyways, I'll put you back up there and we'll go. Alright, so I tried with the jigsaw over here. I do have a long blade on it there, but it's so hard to get straight, and just lack of power. So I'm going to jump up to the sawzall, the nice big blade there, and chop that up and get all the way through. Alright, so that worked alright. Just used a planer afterwards just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. We'll still sand it to make it nice and level and smooth, but anyways, at least we're getting down to a nice straight edge and something that we can actually work on and finish, which is kind of nice. So let's take a look at it. So, nothing too crazy, but as you can see, fairly straight. We can do some more trim to that, cut off some nice chunks of wood here, but pretty punky. Just kind of, that spalting, as I said, goes all the way through, but we'll sand it out, get nice and flat and nice and smooth, and you'll be able to see some of those fun grains. So it's going to take you down here now. So basically my plan here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to leave all this bark and everything in here. I just want to make it a unique table. It's going to be an outdoor table, so I'm okay with it not being super pretty and finished looking and all that. So what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to get some clear glass cut. And so it's going to go all the way to the end here. And it's going to just go right around the edge. I'm going to router it in, set it in there, so then you will have a nice smooth surface to be able to put your plates and your cups and food and everything like that for usability, but you'll still be able to see down and see kind of the moss and the bark and everything in there, because it's a cool tree and it's a cool chunk of wood and I like the character of it. So that's the plan of that. And so basically what I'm going to do on this end here, I wasn't quite sure where to cut it, but I think what I've come down to is I'm going to trim this back here a little bit, just kind of make this a little flatter, come around here, cut in here, and then basically I'm going to have the glass, start at the edge here, come down here somewhere, and then jump across to this side. So I'm gonna end up cutting this down, cutting over to here, cutting this off, basically just for usability of this side. Right now it's just awkward to sit at and to use, so I want to make it a little bit more friendly to use that way. So I think if I basically cut here, go across here, I think that'll accomplish that. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do now. I'll mark it out a little bit and then see if I need to use Jigsaw or my Sawzall again. And I'll make some kind of, you know, make it look live edge, fake live edge as I cut it away, but it should blend in. And then I'll kind of explain a little bit more with the glass. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I think my video cut out a little bit, but basically I cut both these ends here. So let's take a look. Basically just rounded this one off. I'll sand this and contour that so it looks a lot more natural. This will come in, so this is where the glass is going to sit down in here. I may take this back. We'll see how this works. Glass will sit up here and then come straight across here and then catch in here and follow up maybe around there and go that way and go up the whole thing. But at least you have kind of a nice flat area here so you can sit here decently, get your plate on here. This will all be nice and flat and filled in. And then yeah, so basically the planning on just my glass is going to follow along the contours here. I will give the glass guys a template, go around like that. Not sure, this might all just get dropped down and just go over here, because again, I just want to be able to see this. It was pretty enough to me that I thought for an outdoor table it's going to be pretty fun. So anyways, yeah, in the next video, maybe not tonight, but another time, I will start getting that all prepped and ready, and we'll go through that whole process and go from there. So alright, we'll jump to it. Alright, we are now moving on to a fun part, and this should be a good one. I am going to be doing some work on the bark inclusion in here. So if you haven't guessed already, my plan is to inlay glass in here. So I drew out some lines all the way around. I'll show you that better in a second. And so my plan is to, with trying to keep some of the beauty and the natural look of the wood, but also usability. If you're going to eat here, you don't want a big hole in the middle, so I'm going to router it out 1/4 inch down, get some 1/4 inch glass custom cut for it. This stage, I'm going to give them a rough template. So I'm going to router it out, make sure my wood can support it where it is if I need to go further out, depending on the angles and some of the rotten stuff that's in there. Then I will get them a template to the glass store. They will cut it for me, temper it, all that fun stuff. Send it back to me. I'll get the final product. I'll lay that on, do a final draw, and then do a final router so it just sits right in there. I'm going to make it removable so I can clean it. I can, whatever, get water in there, just come right up and go from there. But anyways, that's what we're going to do today, get some routering done. It's definitely a bit intense just because I don't want to mess up, and if I do mess up, I have to make my glass bigger. I can't really obviously put the wood back there, or I have a imperfection, which isn't the worst thing, but I want to make it look as good as I can. So I'll show you that a little bit more in depth here, and then we'll get to it. I also wanted to show off some of my knives I've been making lately. This one's cable, 7/8 cable that was twisted, some railroad spikes, little everyday carry hidden one, canister Damascus, which I'm waiting on a handle, which I just got today. This one's a little kind of San Mai type style, kind of butter knife, steak knife, whatever you want. Anyway, so just kind of a couple different knives I've been playing around and working on as we go. So as we come over to here, got my little router. It's a little easier for me to control, so I like having this for this kind of stuff. As you can see, I just have the line going around. So this will obviously still be wood here, just be sunken down, so the glass, so this will be a nice smooth surface. So coming around here, come across, I'll probably go with the shallower lines here, come across and end it here, come straight across here, so that when you're sitting at the end of the table, you have a nice flat section in front of you for your plate and everything else. Easy to sit in there, wrap it back around, and connect it back here. So I am still on the fence with all this stuff, if I want to keep it or not. Yeah, I don't know, part of me likes kind of the rough look, and if it's all under glass, it's going to be clean and everything, you won't have to worry about it. But I do know if I pull that up, you're going to see some fun characteristics as well. So my mind's not totally made up on that. Leave a comment down below what you think would look better, and we'll go from there. So alright, let's get to some routering. Actually got a phone call there, so that's what cut the video off. But as you can see, I got some good progress going here. I was just going to show you here. I'm using, I believe it's a 5/8 wide bit at the moment, just to take the majority off. I do have a 3/8 and then down to, I think it's actually like 3/32, something like that. Maybe 3/16. Anyways, some other bits in case I need it just to get around the corners, but I don't think I do. But as you can see, just getting that router edge in there all the way along should be good. Again, the glass company will cut it for me after, and they said they can get within kind of 1/16 of an inch of my template, which is awesome. So I'll try to get as exact as I can with my template whenever I get that worked up and then send off. But let's finish what we can do with the router and look at after. Alright, so we got half of it done, which, yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I did want to just mention that when you do this, you want to start from the outside and work into your line. Basically because this obviously is what sets your depth. You can adjust it and set it right here. So that is how far I'm cutting down, and that's 1/4 inch to the bottom of those teeth. So I start on the outside so that that base has something nice to work on, where I can set it, it's nice and solid right on here, and that gives me stability to move in. Whereas if you started on the inside, then as you work out, you work away from having a solid base, so you can't actually hold it still. So that's why some of this I may hit now, I may do later, and just use a sander to get it down, just so I don't chip it away and I'm not risking diving in too much. Like that's what's gonna happen here. I didn't want to go out any further because I was getting away from my base height there. So anyways, I'll hit that down later. But overall, I think it's turned out pretty decent. Should be some fun lines. I'll hit it with some sandpaper to smooth out the lines afterwards. And then again, glass is gonna come across, jump into here, and continue through here. So anyways, let's keep going and finish her out. Alright, so now I got it all routed out, the whole thing over here. So let's take a closer look at that. So again, I'll hit it with the sandpaper to just make them smooth, just so it doesn't, don't see the dig-in spots. But I do think it turned out pretty good. I just wanted to get kind of the rough shape of it. So now I will move on to getting the template for that, and I'll explain how I want to do that. I will submit it to the glass company on either really stiff cardboard or maybe 1/4 inch wood. But to get there, I got to go through a few steps to get it on. But anyways, that'll be kind of the general look of the glass. Should be nice. Probably 3/16 or 1/4 inch glass. Nice flat edge here, so you can still sit here and eat and all that. So anyways, that's where we're at, and then I'll get to doing the template and going from there. This is my buddy Zach. We do a lot of knife making together. We're gonna turn the forge on here and do some of that as well. So awesome. All right, let's jump on next step.